Now that we've seen how to print hello world, that's the demo application, and we have verified that our design works, our block design works. Now let us see how to control the GPIO. So as you can see, we have included the axis GPIO and we have connected it to GPIO input, that is a push button. You can see in the master constraints file, push button we have included GPIO input, and then reset also we included, and then there are this is the input GPIO input 1 bit AXI, and then we have a GPIO output also 4 bits LED. Let us try to write a sample program to interface these LEDs and then this push button, and we'll write a simple C program to do that. So let us open the SDK itself. We'll modify this code. So first of all, we have hello world here, so we'll just change it to program started. So just to verify that our push button is working, we have modified this. So why I have done this is because when we press the reset button, this code will be my MCU will be reset and it will start from the beginning. So this will be printed again when we press the reset button. So that is to verify this reset functionality that we have implemented, this reset. And then what we'll do, we'll interface the push button and the LED. So we'll need to include some libraries here. So hash include, we need the XGPIO library. So if at all you have you have some trouble in searching, you can press Ctrl plus Shift and it will show all the available libraries. So as you can see, there is xgpio.h. click on it. So we'll include that, and then we would need xparameters.h, include x parameter, Ctrl plus Shift, we have it. So we'll include that xparameters.h. So once we have included that, we will have to start writing the code. So what I thought was, we have the board here, so we have 4 LEDs, right? So we have 4 LEDs here. We will try to blink these LEDs in some specific pattern, like this LED, this one LED and the other LED, and this LED and the other LED, and then we'll change it according to the user's push button action. So we'll try to do something with that. So once we have done this, what we'll do, we will have to store the input in some variable. So I'm creating a variable called val, and then another variable called toggle. So that is because once we press the push button, this toggle will be changing its values, where this will have this variable to read the push button's value continuously, and if at all while reading this value, if the push button is pressed, then this will become 1. So if this becomes 1, we'll change the toggles condition, like we'll toggle equal to not of toggle, the same way which we do. So we'll toggle this variable. So we'll initialize this to 0. So initially it has to be 0, and then we'll have to initialize the input and output. So those should be the objects of the variable class xgpio. So xgpio input and output, comma output. So the input will be the push button, and then the output will be the 4 LEDs. So next we'll have to initialize them. So let us initialize, just bring this down, have to initialize them. So xgpio. So again, if at all you want to search it, Control plus Shift, and then it will take you to these things. So just expand it. So as you can see, we have all the variables here. xgpio, we need to initialize it. So I'll just type initialize. Yeah, so this is the function that we are going to use, xgpio initialize. So first the instance pointer that is the input we have to pass, the instance pointer, and then the device ID. So I'll click this. So I've added this. So first of all, the instance pointer will be input. So input, this is the instance pointer, and then the device ID. Device ID for input, we have input. This is the input. We have connected input to the AXI GPIO 0. So since this AXI GPIO 0, what we have to give is x parameter AXI GPIO 0 device ID. Yeah, so this is the inputs device ID. So you have to make sure that this matches, AXI GPIO 0 matches with the GPIO to AXI to which you have connected the input. Next we will have to initialize the output. So that is also quite simple. So I'll just copy this and paste it. So for output it is 1, and then the instance pointer would be output. So that's it. So we have to confirm it once. Yes, AXI GPIO 1 is connected to the LEDs. So those are the outputs. So this is done now. So once we are done with this, we can move on. So next, as we do in any microcontroller, we will have to set the direction of the input and output variables. So even in Atmega microcontrollers or any AVR or ARM, we will set the direction, right, data direction register. The same way we have one function here. So X GPIO, again control plus shift, sorry. So X GPIO direction. So for direction it will be set direction. So where is it? I'll write some more. X GPIO set direction. So set data direction, again the same instance pointer, and then channel, and then unsigned integer channel, and then the direction mask. So first of all we will have to get the instance pointer, which will be again input here, input comma, and then the channel. So the channel would be here in this GPIO 0. I think it's single channel because we didn't enable dual channel here. I'll double click it once. Yes, so here dual channel is not there, so this is a single channel. So hence it will be 1 only, comma 1, comma then the, what else we had? Yes, we had the direction mask. So for inputs it will be 1, that is bit 1 for input and then bit 0 for output, the same way we do in microcontrollers. So since this is going to be input, we'll put 0x 1, that's all. That is because this is going to have only 1 bit input, so we'll put this. And then for output it is going to be again the same thing, GPIO set data direction output, comma again channel is 1 only, comma since all of them are output we'll just give 0. Yes, so we have 1 bit input, and then again that is this is set to 1 and this is set to 0. All the 4 bits of LEDs are set to 0, and then once we are done with that, we'll start a while loop. So while 1 means it will be running always. So we'll read the push button status. So value equal to xGPIO discrete read. So this will be the function which will be using discrete read. So again the instance pointer input, and then comma 1 the channel. So we have read the value, and then once we are done with that, if this value is 1, that is if the push button is pressed, if value equal to 1, so now what we'll do, we'll print button is pressed, button pressed /r to give some gap, and then we'll toggle the variable. So toggle equal to not of toggle the variable. Next we need to I thought of printing some pattern, right? So if toggle is 1, so if toggle is 1, what we'll do, we'll write values to the output. So again xGPIO discrete write, again the instance pointer, the output, comma channel 1, and then we have 4 LEDs, right? So for 4 LEDs we need to say I'm in the beginning I want 0 1 0 1, so something like this. So or say I want 1 0 1 0, so 1 0 1 0 the hex value of this would be A, right? So 1 0 1 0 will be A, so 0x A hex value of this, that's all. And then we have one more library. So for delaying we have one more library, so that would be sleep.h. Yes, so sleep.h. So this is, we'll sleep for 250 milliseconds. So you have a function in sleep.h, you will have a function called as usleep, that is a microsecond sleep. So in sleep.h you have thing called as microseconds. So you need to pass the unsigned int microseconds for the microsleep, this function. So we'll be using it. So we'll sleep usleep of microsecond sleep. So 250 milliseconds will be 250 into 1000 microseconds, so 250 000. Yes. So next, once we delay it, copy it, so I'll change the state of this. So instead of 1010 0101, so 0101 would be what, 5, right? So 0x 5 hex value of 5, and then I'll do this. And then if we don't want this, again I'll we have the else conditions. For the else we are going to do something similar. So I'll copy it, so for this I'll put 1100. So 1100 would be hex of C, and then just put hex of C, and then 0011 would be C 3, hex of 3. So here would be C, and then here it would be 3. So this is done, and then clean up platform. Yeah, so I guess we are done with the code. So I'll just save it, see if everything is right. So I'll just explain again. We have included few libraries, and then we have the program started. This is for checking the reset button that we created, and then I have val and then toggle. So GPIO initialize is to initialize the input and output. So this axis GPIO 0 should be mapped to this axis GPIO whichever you are using. So axis GPIO 0 device ID, and then GPIO 1 device ID, and then we have these XGPIO set direction, data direction 1 or 0, whichever would be. 1 is for input, 1 is for input. Since we have only one input here, I have given 0x1, and then we have output 0. That is because all 4 bits of the output should be 0, because GPIO 1 is are all the LEDs. And then I'm reading the value of the push button. So in this while loop, the infinite while loop, so and I'm storing it in the val. If val is 1, that is if the push button is pressed, toggle it, and then print the command to the terminal. And then if toggle is 1, print this pattern. These 4 LEDs will glow in this pattern 1010, and then 0101. So in this pattern this will be glowing, these LEDs with a delay. You will see when the output comes. And then again for else condition, like if the button is pressed, if it's toggled 1100 and then 0011. So just to show a difference when the button is pressed. This is a sample program. So I think it's already compiled. Let's run it. So I have the board here. This is the board. We'll program it. So launch on hardware. Okay. So it's just launching it. So it's done. So program started. We got the program started printed to the terminal. Now I'll press the push button, and you will see that this push button is pressed here, and then the toggling of the LEDs would change. Now I will press it. So you can see this is now in this condition. The toggle is 1010 A, and then 0101. 1010 and 0101 are just toggling like this, these two LEDs. And then we have the button pressed command. Again, if I press the button, the toggle's value will change to 0, and then this condition will be false and this condition will be true. So it will be printing 1100 and 0011 this way. So I'll again press the push button. So I hope you are able to see the change. So while I press the push button, you can see the message going through the UART. You will see the LED glowing here. So you will get the push button pressed command here, and then you will see it change. Now to test the reset facility that we did here, the reset button into this processor system reset and then the clocking wizard. So for that, what we have to do is we have to press the reset. This is the user push button that I did here. So you can see that in the master XDC file. So this is the reset is the push button 1. This is the push button. Reset is the push button 0, and push button 1 is the GPIO input. So this is the push button 1 and push button 0. So push button 1, if I press, it will toggle, and then it will also print the command in the SDK. Push button pressed. Push button pressed, it will come. So once I press the reset button, you will see that the whole program will reset. The whole program will reset, and then it will go to the normal condition. So I will click on it. as you can see, the program started command is running. That's because here you have the program started print in the beginning of the code, so it will exit from the while loop and will start the program from the beginning. So the reset function is working properly, and the NOT gate which we designed in the previous video. Yes, so the toggle will change. So this is the sample program that I wanted to show, just to show the working of the GPIO Axis GPIO through the GPIO class. So in sleep you also have just a sleep function in which you have to pass the seconds as the argument if you want more, longer delays. So that's it. I hope you like the video. Thanks for watching.